Ancient of days, righteous judge, commander of angel armies, by the blood of the everlasting covenant I enter your court, take my place and legislate. I align with the constitution of heaven. I submit my will to your will. I synchronize my time with your times and seasons. I renounce disorder. I revoke delay. I rescind every signature I ever gave to procrastination, confusion, hesitation, or fear. Let my record be amended. Let my timelines be corrected. Let my steps be ordered. I present evidence that cannot be contested, the finished work of Christ, the word that cannot return void, and the witness of the Spirit who intercedes with power. On this basis, I petition for immediate injunctions against all forms of delayed bureaucratic, spiritual, mental, emotional, financial, relational. I secure a cease and desist against time thieves, derailing conversations, counterfeit obligations, and false emergencies. I demand restitution of squandered hours, misallocated energy, and aborted assignments. Let interest accrue on stolen opportunities. Let back pay be released from the north, south, east, and west. I step out of stagnation and into kairos. I summon the morning to attention, open your gates, and yield your strength to my assignment. Sun, run your circuit in my favor. Winds, carry resources into alignment. Earth, yield your increase to the work of my hands. I speak to Chronos and command. Serve purpose. Submit to the Prince of Peace. Obey heaven's schedule concerning me. Angels on retainer to my covenant scribal angels, courier angels, marshal angels, watcher angels be released now. Draft decrees. Deliver approvals. Enforce verdicts. Escort promises to manifestation. Go before me to boardrooms and inboxes, to application portals and financial systems, to timelines and task lists. Clear queues. Expedite processing. Align calendars. Guard the borders of my peace. Filter every call, message, meeting, and invitation through heaven's priority. I govern my inner nation under Christ. Spirit, lead. Soul, agree. Body, follow. Emotions, be steady. Mind, be single. Will, be resolute. Tongue, become a pen of iron for truth and a plow for order. I dismantle altars of distraction. I enthrone diligence in my routines, morning consecration, midday execution, evening review. I forbid drift. I forbid double-mindedness. I forbid the paralysis of overthinking. I authorize decisive action, measured pace, and sustained momentum. I legislate priority, God first, assignment second, noise last. I install boundaries that bless, righteous yes, righteous no. Focus windows for deep work, Sabbath margins that renew strength. I place sentries at my gates. I gate behold what edifies. Ear gate receive only what instructs. Mind gate meditate on what produces wisdom. Mouth gate speak only what you will do and do only what you speak. I sanctify my tools, phone, laptop, pen, workspace, accounts. They are instruments of order, not altars of distraction. I prophesy clean dashboards, concise communications, accurate records, and clear folders. I call my environment into alignment. Clutter goes, systems stand, checklists guide, discipline delivers. Interruptions convert into intercessions. Obstacles convert into innovations. Nothing is wasted. Over pending matters, I now petition the court, stalled approvals, delayed payments, paused partnerships, unanswered proposals, slow-moving files. I submit statutory promises and demand execution. Let gates open. Let signatures be obtained. Let transfers settle. Let decisions be made in my favor. I decree acceleration with structural integrity, speed without sloppiness, increase without instability, promotion without pride, growth without grief. I address generational patterns of postponement and near miss. I break the covenant of almost there, the liturgy of tomorrow, and the habit of later. I annul ancestral permissions given to fear, scarcity, shame, and self-sabotage. I draft a new family ordinance. We are starters, stewards, and finishers. We begin in faith, continue in faithfulness, and conclude in excellence. Let this ordinance be published in heaven and enforced on earth. I speak to every assignment in my custody. Emerge, advance, complete. Dormant ideas wake and receive architecture. Half-built projects receive finishing grace. Delayed documents move to the top of the stack. Unpaid invoices be remembered and released. Dormant partnerships be revived or be closed with clarity. I refuse open loops that drain focus. I close loops with precision and peace. I consecrate my minutes like first fruits. I partition this day by decree. The first hour crowns the whole. The second hour establishes rhythm. The third hour locks traction. The fourth multiplies results. The midday holds the line. The afternoon ties the knots. The evening reviews, rejoices, and releases. Each hour is escorted by angels. Each task is bathed in grace. Each decision aligns with purpose. Concerning finances, I install order, income streams sanctified, expenses audited, obligations honored, generosity prioritized, reserves established. I command favor with righteous clients, timely payers, and strategic partners. I bind waste, leak, and loss. I loose accuracy, accountability, and increase. Money is not my master. It is my servant. It finds its assignment and fulfills mission. Mandates concerning my body, I legislate stamina, clarity, and recovery. I cancel brain fog, lethargy, and fragility. I authorize restorative sleep, focused energy, and calibrated intensity. I command hormones, neurotransmitters, and systems to harmonize under heaven's order. I install appetites that support destiny and disciplines that safeguard longevity. Concerning my mind, I order thought traffic, no overcrowding, no tailgating, no collisions. Ideas line up, submit briefs, and receive go-no-go rulings. Rumination is evicted. Revelation is enthroned. Wisdom presides over strategy. My imagination becomes a drafting table for solutions, not a theater for fear. Concerning relationships, I decree covenantal clarity. Assigned allies locate me. Pretenders disqualify themselves. Saboteurs are exposed without scandal. I speak shalom over my home and honor over my collaborations. I maintain open hands and guarded focus. I refuse triangulation, gossip, and manipulative urgency. I choose truth and love, boundaries with kindness, and loyalty with wisdom. I now publish a 12-point order of operations for this day and bind it to my steps. 1. Seek presence precedes performance. 2. Scope define the one thing that moves the mission. 3. Sequence arrange tasks by kingdom value. 4. Start initiate without ceremony. 5. Sustain protect deep work with holy silence. 6. Simplify remove the extra, reduce the friction. 7. Standardize repeat what works, document the flow. 8. Signal communicate cleanly, confirm expectations. 9. Safeguard time block, boundary, and buffer. 10. Solve face the hard problem first. 11. Seal finish, file, follow up. 12. Survey review, rejoice, refine. I command the atmosphere of my influence home, studio, office, platforms to host order, excellence, and uncommon peace. Let algorithms and audiences be aligned with the message I carry. Let my voice cut through noise with clarity and compassion. Let doors open that no human can open and close what must be closed swiftly and cleanly. I summon wisdom to the planning table, courage to the point of decision, and endurance to the long obedience. I refuse the pendulum swing of hurry and halt. I choose the metronome of steady faithfulness. I refuse the bait of comparison. I choose the lane of calling. I refuse counterfeit crowns. I choose the towel of service and the yoke that fits. I issue writs of eviction to spirits of error, chaos, and distraction operating at thresholds and handoffs. You will not hijack transitions or contaminate communications. I install checkpoint. Angels at every gate start midpoint, finish so that what begins well continues well and concludes well. Misfires correct. Misalignments realign. Miscommunications are repaired before they ripple. I recover time lost to ignorance, surrendered to fear, traded for approval, stolen by disorder. I redeem it through wisdom, diligence, and faith. I transform minutes into milestones, hours into outcomes, days into deposits that compound into decades of impact. The calendar becomes a canvas for obedience. The clock becomes a servant of assignment. I place a seal upon today's decree set. It will not be altered by pressure, sabotaged by fatigue, or diluted by flattery. Let watchers record it, runners carry it, and performers human and angelic execute it. Let heaven's plumb line remain on my desk, my keyboard, my conversations, my choices. Where there is excess, prune. Where there is lack, supply. Where there is crookedness, straighten. Where there is ambiguity, clarify. I advance now into the assignments of this hour with a straight path before me, with strengthened hands, with a quieted heart, and with the cadence of the Spirit directing every step. I convene a strategy session with wisdom, understanding, and counsel. Blueprints unroll before me. Bottlenecks are identified, root causes exposed, and sustainable fixes installed. I reject patchwork. I institute architecture. I exchange wishful thinking for measurable plans, vague desires for dated milestones, and scattered notes for living systems that breathe with my assignment. I publish executive orders over the gateways of this day. Order, alignment. Every person, platform, and process in my orbit either aligns or is gently reassigned. No tug of war, no dilution, no drift. Order, sequence. The right thing, the right way, at the right time, without frenzy, without fog. Order, excellence. Details receive dignity. Corners remain uncut. Integrity governs outcomes. Order, pace. I move at the speed of obedience, neither late from fear nor early from presumption. Order, finish. What I start, I steward. What I steward, I seal. What I seal, I celebrate. I install holy automation inside my habits. Morning primes my spirit. Midday protects momentum. Afternoon closes loops. Evening gathers lessons. I forbid the creep of just one more scroll, just one more episode, just one more excuse. My attention is consecrated. My energy is allocated. My boundaries are blessed. I legislate over learning and mastery. Concepts become comprehension. Facts become frameworks. Frameworks become fruit. Recall is sharp. Synthesis is swift. Expression is clear. Deadlines transform into testimonies of discipline. I command study notes to organize themselves in my mind by topic, date, and priority. I decree examiner favor, accurate memory, and confident delivery under pressure. I legislate over creative and professional output. Ideas line up in triage. The highest impact initiative moves first. Scripts receive voice and cadence. Designs receive hierarchy and harmony. Products receive polish and purpose. Every draft iterates toward clarity. Every iteration compresses time. Every release multiplies value. I declare clean collaborations, expectations written, roles defined, timelines honored, outcomes measured. I install order in my communications. I answer what advances mission. I defer what dilutes focus. I decline what drains covenant strength. My yes is strategic. My no is sanctified. Words are seasoned, brief, and binding. I refuse loops left open. Follow-ups are timely. Summaries precise. Archives tidy. I legislate over platforms and distribution channels. Content finds its audience. Algorithms serve assignment. Engagement becomes edification. No shadow of compromise. No bait of controversy. No addiction to applause. Let authenticity outrun trend. Substance outlast noise, and service outshine vanity. Open doors to righteous partnerships, ethical sponsors, and audiences ready for transformation. I legislate over finances with surgical precision. Ledgers balance. Invoices are honored. Cash flow stabilizes. Reserves strengthen. I rebuke late fees and loopholes. I release stewardship, structure, and surplus. Resources locate their purpose quickly. Generosity finds its targets accurately. Opportunities mature on schedule without strain. I legislate over health and longevity. Vitality rises. Recovery accelerates. Stress dissipates under perfect peace. I align nutrition, movement, rest, and thought life to support sustained obedience. My posture reflects confidence. My breath carries calm. My biochemistry comes under righteous rhythm. Fatigue is not my governor. Purpose is, I legislate over relationships and networks. Real allies are magnetized. Counterfeits are identified early and exit quietly. Mentors with wisdom, peers with integrity, and mentees with teachable spirits surround me. Misunderstandings are short-lived. Reconciliation is swift. Triangulation finds no landing pad. Honor guards my speech. Truth anchors my counsel. Love powers my boundaries. I issue decrees at thresholds and handoffs. Projects do not wobble when they pass between hands. Emails do not vanish in queues. Approvals do not stall in the shadows. Packages do not wander in transit. Every baton is passed cleanly. Every relay maintains speed. Every finish line is crossed upright. I address environmental order. Spaces preach peace, surfaces cleared. Tools in place, workflows visible. Files carry intelligible names. Folders reflect function. Backups are current. Access is secure. I exile clutter. I enthrone clarity. The atmosphere warms to creativity and cools to chaos. I command spiritual logistics. Watchers, record, Runners announce, enforcers execute, guardians encamp. Let the angelic form a ring of disciplined peace. Around my hour-by-hour path, no ambushes at decision points, no snares at success, no sabotage at celebration. I legislate over unseen resistance. I deauthorize familiar patterns masquerading as personality, chronic lateness, chronic second-guessing, chronic distraction. I remove their legal grounds through repentance and revoke their operational permits through decree. New defaults are installed. Punctuality, decisiveness, presence. I speak to the gates of provision and purpose. Lift up your heads and allow throughput. Permit the on-time arrival of resources, the right-fit arrival of people, the on-budget arrival of materials. Where timing once mocked me, timing now serves me. Where red tape once nodded, pathways now open. I define metrics for faithfulness. Today, not vanity, but value. Not busyness, but fruit. Not noise, but nurture. Not reach alone, but real change. I choose depth over drama, stewardship over spectacle, assignment over applause. I draft contingency plans under the counsel of the Spirit. If A closes, B opens. If B stalls, C pivots. If C breaks, D rebuilds. I am never cornered. I am coached by wisdom. Setbacks are translated into strategies within hours, not months. I recover, reframe, and re-engage without loss of dignity or momentum. I consecrate my decision points. When options multiply, I choose the eternal over the immediate, the mission critical over the merely interesting, the necessary over the novel. No shiny object detours. No fear-based retreats. No ego-led overreach. Humility keeps me teachable. Boldness keeps me moving. I legislate over time zones and timelines attached to my name. Delays in other regions lose the power to delay me. International. Processing aligns. Cross-border collaborations harmonize. Calendars agree. Clocks cooperate. Commitments complete. I publish a finishing protocol for this day. Plan, pray, prioritize, perform, pause, proof, package, pass, post, praise. Each step receives focus. Each focus receives time. Each time receives protection. Nothing critical is rushed. Nothing trivial is allowed to sprawl. I call destiny helpers to their stations by assignment and timing. The introducer who opens a door, the intercessor who covers a gap, the expert who shortens a curve, the builder who anchors a system. Let them come without delay, serve without friction, and leave with honor when their season is fulfilled. I command my legacy lane to remain clear. What I build blesses beyond me. What I teach outlives me. What I document guides those after me. Cycles of starting and stalling are retired. Cycles of start, steward, seal become tradition. Future generations inherit not chaos but compass, not confusion but codes. I place a living hedge around this decree set. Pressure cannot bend it. Fatigue cannot blur it. Flattery cannot bribe it. Opposition cannot blunt it. The plumb line stays visible. The standard remains non-negotiable. The cadence of obedience continues steady and strong. I advance with ordered steps into the next task, now hands strengthened, heart quieted, sight clarified, help surrounding, and the blueprint unfolding in perfect sequence. I convene a field command over the theater of today, objectives clarified, resources positioned, contingencies mapped. I forbid scattered fire. I authorize concentrated accuracy. No friendly fire against my own progress. No duplication of effort. No drift disguised as research. No paralysis disguised as prudence. I publish a fivefold order package across my life. Order of thought. I take every runaway thought captive and seat it before wisdom for cross-examination. Catastrophizing dissolves. Clarity ascends. I install a single governing question over my mind. Does this move the mission now? If not, it is archived or declined. Order of tasks. One priority governs many activities. I sequence by impact, not by impulse. I convert intentions into appointments and promises into proof. Order of tools. Devices serve destiny. Platforms serve purpose. Software serves structure. Notifications submit to time blocks. Inputs flow to trusted systems. Outputs ship on schedule. I banish digital clutter and sanctify my screen for creation over consumption. Order of time. I budget minutes like money and invest them in compounding returns. I stop at enough and start at now. I keep margin holy so creativity can breathe and counsel can speak. Order of team. Alignments strengthen. Assignments clarify. Agreements are written and honored. I cultivate candor. with kindness and speed with stewardship. I measure success by shared outcomes, not celebrity. I speak to the gates of this city, this region, this nation connected to my assignment, open for righteousness, shut to confusion. Let bureaucratic mazes straighten before the righteous. Let honest processes accelerate for those who walk in truth. Let policies that strangle progress be revised and those that reward diligence be enforced. I decree the climate around me favors order, rewards integrity, and fast tracks what is just. I unwind the spools of busy but barren living. I renounce the performance of productivity and embrace the fruit of obedience. I am not seduced by the spectacle of motion. I am committed to measurable outcomes. My metrics are peace, precision, people helped, and purpose advanced over study and mastery. I decree concepts crystallize, timelines anchor, citations appear when needed, examples surface on demand, memory retrieves accurately, expression is concise and compelling. I've been learning towards service. I refuse last-minute panic. I choose early, steady preparation. I set an honor code within, excellence without anxiety, diligence without despair, over creative and ministry output. I legislate, words come warm and weighty. Ideas arrive with architecture, not chaos. Execution respects the audience and honors the caller. I will not confuse rawness with revelation, nor novelty with necessity. Substance outruns spectacle. Grace shapes cadence. Truth directs tone. Over my business and provision I install cash flow that is clean and honest, contracts that are clear and fair, records that are current and correct. I bind financial tricksters and predatory fine print. I loose righteous opportunities, reciprocal partnerships, and timely payments. Invoices do not stall. Transfers do not tangle. Deliverables do not drift. I draw a bright line between what is mine and what is not. Emergencies I am not assigned to will not draft my strength. Wars I am not called to fight will not conscript my time. I bless and release what is not mine. I embrace and execute what is. I station checkpoint angels at every threshold today start. Midpoint, finish to verify alignment, confirm resources, and guard the handoff. Projects keep their integrity from launch to landing. Communications retain accuracy from mouth to ear, from text to understanding, from plan to practice. I audit my interior climate. I lower the noise floor to hear the still, steady wisdom of God. I turn down second guessing. I turn up single-hearted faith. I set watch over my tongue. No vows made to impress, only commitments I intend to keep. I release the fragrance of gratitude into the room. Ingratitude has no oxygen here. I address threshold saboteurs, last-minute distractions, surprise, false fires, cleverly timed controversies. Your windows are boarded up. Your cables are cut. Your permits revoked. You will not hijack today's finish lines. I harden the perimeter with prayer and soften the interior with praise and yielding at the edges, peaceful at the core. I reissue protocols for decisive action, clarify the single outcome. Choose the first concrete step, remove one friction. Immediately, act without ceremony. Close the loop before moving on. I summon destiny technicians, people grace to tighten systems, sharpen messages, and shorten cycles. Let them locate me without delay, operate without ego, and hand back the baton with clean hands. I give them honor. I establish scope. I secure results. I lay a plumb line down the center of my calendar. Where commitments bow to it, they stand. Where they resist, they are renegotiated or removed. I refuse to bribe the future by borrowing time I don't have. I refuse to mortgage peace to purchase pace. I move at the speed of purpose measured, muscular, merciful. I strike the altars of indecision. Analysis paralysis dissolves. Perfectionism is displaced by excellence. Fear of man is replaced by fear of God. I accept that progress is iteration. Iteration is humility. Humility is speed. I choose small, faithful steps that compound into unmistakable results. I declare sanctified simplicity, fewer goals, greater gains. Fewer words, greater weight. Fewer tasks, greater traction. Fewer tabs, greater throughput. I prune to bear fruit. I focus to bear much fruit. I abide to bear lasting fruit. I bind the pendulum of hurry then halt. I install the metronome of steady obedience. My pace is sustainable. My stamina is supported. My strategy is spirit-led. I do not sprint to prove. I do not stall to hide. I move because I'm sent, and I rest because I'm held. I tune my discernment. Flattery cannot draft me. Pressure cannot push me. Pity cannot purchase me. I am led by peace, confirmed by truth, checked by counsel, and measured by fruit. Closed doors are sometimes mercy. Open doors are sometimes tests. I weigh both by the word and the witness within. I publish a finishing cadence over this day. Plan with prayer. Build with wisdom. Protect with boundaries. Measure with honesty. Refine with humility. Ship with courage. Archive with clarity. Give thanks with sincerity. I reclaim fragmented attention from yesterday's fragments. Open loops are closed or consciously scheduled. Phantom tasks are deleted. False urgencies are exposed. My brain chemistry calms under order. My nervous system aligns under peace. My posture reflects readiness. I schedule holy interruptions on heaven's terms. If the spirit redirects, I pivot without panic. If a neighbor needs mercy, I serve without losing mission. I am interruptible for love, not manipulable by noise. I place a traceable audit trail under today's obedience. Decisions documented, learnings captured, templates created. Tomorrow's me is blessed by today's me. Future teams are guided by today's notes. Knowledge does not evaporate, it accumulates into wisdom assets. I cut the umbilical of approval addiction. I will not outsource my identity to algorithms or applause. My confidence comes from calling. My courage comes from conviction. My consistency comes from covenant. I speak to waiting rooms, queues, portals, reviews, processes attached to my name. Move from pending to processing, from processing to approved, from approved to released, on schedule, in order, with favor. Let errors self-identify and correct swiftly. Let rightful outcomes emerge without toil. I declare territorial peace over my workspace and home. No quarrel, no clamor, no unseen strife. The air is clear for thought. The room is friendly to focus. The ground is hospitable to progress. Light fills the corners. Purpose fills the hours. Joy oils the hinges of every door. I fix my gaze, not to the left where comparison poisons, not to the right where distraction dazzles, but forward where the assignment waits. I build what I am graced to build with what I have, where I am, starting now, continuing steadily, finishing well. I place a living seal upon these operational decrees recorded by watchers, carried by runners, enforced by marshals, and mirrored in the material world, and I step with clean hands and a quiet heart into the next appointed action. I command the last mile pathways of today hand-ins, uploads, sign-offs, deliveries to remain straight and swift. Gatekeepers honor what is excellent. Systems recognize what is complete. Queues move at the speed of truth. Errors flag themselves early. Corrections are simple and swift. Redundancies collapse into elegant simplicity. I align thresholds under heaven's plumb line. At the start, I initiate without drama. At the middle, I sustain without wobble. At the finish, I seal without delay. No false fire will flare at crucial moments. No counterfeit urgency will kidnap my peace. I set watch at every hinge. Beginnings are blessed, transitions are guarded, conclusions are clean. I compel resources to report to duty by name and function. People with integrity appear. Information with accuracy surface. Funds with assignment arrive. Tools with reliability perform. Facilities with availability open. Transport with timeliness synchronize. No leak, no loss, no late. I bless holy order over my voice and influence. Let my words be weight, not wind. Seed, not chaff. Surgery, not spectacle. Open doors I am graced to walk through. Closed stages I have no business on. Let platforms become pulpits of peace, workshops of wisdom, and rivers of restoration. I institute a finisher's liturgy in my bones. Plan with prayer. Prioritize with purpose. Press with patience. Proof with honesty. Package with excellence, pass with clarity, post with courage, praise with gratitude, archive with order, advance with fresh oil. I reclaim mismanaged minutes and convert them to momentum. I reclaim fragmented focus and convert it to flow. I reclaim stalled decisions and convert them to done. I reclaim deferred obedience and convert it to delight. I decree a triple cord over this day: focus, fidelity, finish, and bind it to my steps so it does not snap under pressure. I decree territorial peace around my dwelling and work. No strife, no sabotage, no stealthy sorrow. I decree angelic escort around my errands and engagements. Guard the borders, clear the lanes, steady the pace. I speak to the future seated in today's obedience. It will rise as order, show up as favor, and compound as impact. The calendar will testify. The ledger will testify. The people helped will testify. Where delay once mocked me, completion now crowns me. Where chaos once scattered me, alignment now strengthens me. Where fear once froze me, holy courage now moves me. I publish a final executive summary in the courts of heaven. The spirit of delay is adjudicated and overruled. The ordinance of order is enacted and enforced. The sequence of heaven governs my hours. The assignments of today are executed in excellence. The witnesses are the blood, the word, and the spirit. The marshals are the angels. The arena is the earth. The evidence will be fruit. Let it be recorded by watchers, carried by runners, enforced by marshals, and mirrored in the material. I step forward now, hands strengthened, heart quieted, path leveled, time redeemed, and I seal these decrees, rulings, and protocols in my life, my house, my work, and my region in the name of Jesus the Christ. Amen.